Go, Brandon.
Well, friends, by now, most of you have already heard about the IRS buying up over $700,000 worth of ammunition just in 2022 alone. Yes, the IRS. Not the DOD, not some of these other agencies out there. The freaking IRS. These are guys that I would expect to be armed with calculators, number 2 pencils, rulers, maybe an electronic stapler or something like that. Representative Matt Gaetz is the one who kind of broke this on a Breitbart news story. I believe it was last week sometime. And in the story, they actually post the links that show the proof on the government's website, usaspending.gov. Pretty cool website. It's pretty much a database that shows you where money is spent, who it's spent on, kinda what it's spent for, in so many words. But the thing that I notice is you'll notice that there's tons of transactions here. You'll notice that all the ammo is coming from the Vista organization. And of course, you can see right here on the map that 100% of what's being purchased is coming from up in Minnesota area. But when you dig a little bit deeper, you'll notice down below where it says description, it says small arms ammunition manufacturing, talking about Vista. Then look over to the right of that where it says ammunition through 30 millimeter. Now that would worry me a little bit, but slightly right above that, you'll notice that it says duty ammunition. We know what they're talking about when they say duty ammunition. They're talking about essentially 9 millimeter. I would imagine that not so many government agencies are using 40, which they used 40 Smith & Wesson a while back when they switched from 9 millimeter. I doubt they're using the 40 anymore. So many of the organizations, law enforcement and government, have made that switch back to 9 millimeter. So in most cases, it's probably the lung blowing out 9 millimeter that they're purchasing here, all these rounds of it. Now I'm using this database to look in so many other areas right now. So I'm not done with this. I'm still doing some digging. I enjoy doing some auditing type stuff like this. I don't know why. It's just kind of a nerd thing of mine. My suspicion is not necessarily that the IRS needs the ammunition or even intends to use the ammunition. I know that sounds weird, but I really don't think there's a conspiracy that the IRS is arming up to do anything. You know what I think it is? You'll look here in this same database that they have an abundance of monies that they don't spend. $300 and something million worth of money that the IRS did not spend last year. So they essentially have their own slush fund. They essentially have their own pile of money that every single year you'll notice that Congress continues to bump their budget up a little bit. So they get re-upped every year. They get their same budget also on top of that, plus whatever they saved last year. In most companies' budgets, whatever you don't spend, you don't get to keep. Apparently, the federal government gets to keep whatever they don't spend, not run, again, like any normal company would be. So they have all this money sitting out there. That's just one agency in the federal government. What do they want more than anything? What do we see swirling around right now more than anything? Gun control. They're doing everything they can to try to keep guns, ammunition out of our hands right now. What better way to keep ammunition out of our hands than to buy it all up with our money? We know the story last week with the Winchester plant, Lake City, Missouri. The jury's still out on that. In fact, I got a phone call yesterday from another Army affairs person who was searching. This lady actually asked me what I was calling about. When I told her, I said, just Google it. And I told her to Google, while I'm on the phone with her, I said, Google Lake City Army ammunition. And she did. She goes, oh, okay, well, I see it pops up everywhere. This woman works there and had not even heard about this. But again, we've talked about this. It doesn't mean that it's not happening. Just because I've got confirmation that that's an erroneous story last week doesn't mean that the wheels are not still in motion. We've already got stories going on out there about that. Now we've got this ammunition being bought up. Our federal government is most likely buying up the ammunition. I'm going to search in these other areas and see what other departments out there that have an abundance of money funding just like the IRS does. And my guess is I'm going to find other agencies who are buying ammunition who may not actually need them. Obviously, Department of Defense, or we're going to see some other organizations out there who say they can use it, but my guess is they're going to have way more than they actually need. I'm going to keep doing some digging on this, but I'm pretty sure what I'm going to find. Again, I don't think we have to panic thinking that the IRS is going to be armed. I've met IRS agents, not real worried about them. I'm more worried about their own personal safety if they're carrying 9mm. They're going to blow their own lungs out. So I'm less worried about them kicking my door in. Again, I've seen the IRS agents before. I'm more concerned with them using the IRS's money, our money, to buy up all this ammunition so we have less of it that we can purchase.
Let's go, Brandon.